Okay, so hey guys, we're going to be going over Isaiah 53 today. And so if your Torah has not been loved, is it loved? I know my Torah looks so beat up, y'all, but we're going to use it till it falls apart. So this is the Jewish Bible Tanakh. I will have it linked down below to Amazon. I always tell everyone, I recommend you get a Jewish Bible so that you can get something that is directly translated from the Hebrew and Aramaic so you know what it is actually saying, because the Christian Bible does have changes in it that were made in order to try to push a certain narrative. And so we're going to talk today about Isaiah 53, and I'm going to read it to you guys, and I'm going to show you guys, because a lot of times I have people that come to my channel acting crazy, or come to my channel saying I'm lying, and they can verify this stuff themselves, okay? Because Isaiah describes a suffering servant. It does not describe even remotely a person that could be confused to be Jesus Christ. And so this is why it's so important to read the Torah in its whole totality. If there is a chapter, if there's a sentence, you need to read that whole sentence and see what it says. Don't just read half of a sentence and then say, oh, okay, well, that's him. And then the rest of the sentence disqualifies that individual. And so as you guys know on this channel, we are very clear about our belief and Torah, and that there is one God who does not exist as several entities, beings, who has no son, and that Christianity is not the truth. So we're going to read. Okay, so as you guys can see, Isaiah 53. Who can believe what we have heard? Upon whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he has grown by his favor like a tree crown, like a tree trunk out of arid ground. He had no form or beauty that we should look at him, no charm that we should find him pleasing. He was despised, shunned by men, a man of suffering, familiar with disease, as one who hid his face from us. He was despised. We held him of no account, yet it was our sickness he was bearing, our suffering that he endured. We accounted him plagued, smitten and afflicted by God. But he was wounded because of our sins, crushed because of our iniquities. He bore the chastisement that made us whole, and by his bruises we were healed. We all went astray like sheep, each going his own way, and the Lord visited upon him the guilt of us all. He was maltreated, yet he was submissive. He did not open his mouth, like a sheep being led to slaughter, like a ewe, dumb before those who shear her. He did not open his mouth. By oppressive judgment he was taken away. Who could describe his abode? For he was cut off from the land of the living, through the sin of my people who deserved a punishment, and his grave was set among the wicked, and with the rich in his death, though he had done no injustice and had spoken no falsehood. But the Lord chose to crush him by disease, that if he made himself an offering for guilt, he might see offspring and have a long life, and that through him the Lord's purpose might prosper. Out of his anguish he shall see it. He shall enjoy it to the full through his devotion. And so we're going to go over this whole passage, but as you guys can see what it is I have highlighted there, he might see offspring. Okay, what is offspring, you guys? Offspring is children, and have a long life. And through him the Lord's purpose might prosper. One of his anguish he shall see it. He shall enjoy it to the full through his devotion. So he's going to enjoy a long life, and he's going to enjoy having children. Is this Jesus Christ? And so in a previous video, I have gone through the passages, breaking it down what it means step by step. But we're going to just briefly go over this. And so this is someone essentially who has gone through a number of things, who has bared the guilt, someone who has even took on disease, had disease of someone else. If someone catches the disease you have, which may even be a disease you acquired through immoral practices, does that make you some kind of god somewhere? Does that make you a proof of some kind of divinity? Of course not. We know in today's society, there are people being blamed and taking on the guilt of crimes they've never committed. And like it says here, like an ewe, dumb before those who shear her, he did not open his mouth. Very common in many minority communities for people to take the guilt and the blame of someone else when they have not done something and they don't say anything. Okay. And so when we hear also too, someone that would be crushed and wounded because of our sins, someone being crushed because of what other people have done. Everyone in the community, these are talking about particular sins. This is not to be confused with just he's being crushed, he's getting beat to death because I put gum under a desk somewhere. This is someone that is basically being blamed, taking on the responsibility for the sins and actions of other people. This happens all the time. This here passage, as well as all of Isaiah, talks about people and what they will go through and what blameless people who are living right will go through. Because a lot of times in other faiths that's not Torah, there's this idea that nothing bad is never going to happen to you, even if you're living right. And I'm here to tell you, this paints the exact example. You can catch diseases from other people when you have not done nothing. You can get blamed and charged with crimes when you have not done nothing. And in this instance, this example talks about that this man would eventually go on to live a long life. If this person is going to live a long life, are they being killed at the age of 33? Are they even being killed at what we would call a young age? No, a long life is a long life. And so this is why it's so important. You got to go through and read the whole passage. If you say, oh, well, there's a tree. I heard that Jesus was sacrificed on a piece of wood, along with two others that were sacrificed on a piece of wood. That means that's a God and that's a God. It doesn't mean anything. Do you know how many men were hung and strung from trees here in the United States that were lynched and hung from trees? Thousands. This is not a unique death. And the fact that there's a tree present is not unique. The fact that, as you guys can see here, and his grave was set up among the wicked and with the rich in his death. If you're buried in any graveyard in the world, right, you're going to be amongst the poor and the rich. Like, some people are really making this very complicated, and they're trying to make it deeper than what it is, and there's no depth to it. Okay, these are not unique things that are specific to any one particular person, let alone someone that someone believes is going to be God. When in Numbers 23:19, God says he is not a man. God is not a man, nor is he mortal. What does that mean? It draws attention to, number one, he's not a human being. Number two, he's not mortal. He is not someone who can experience death. A mortal is someone who does not have immortality. God has immortality. God's beyond immortality. But God does not die. That's what to take from that. And so please, it's so important to get yourself a Torah so you can find out the truth, what it really says. If you're on a journey, if you're studying Torah, you're getting closer to the Jewish faith, there was no coincidence for why you found this video. So you guys like, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.